So there was an incident sophomore year during Oklahoma where somebody brought guacamole in the dressing room.
And somebody ate said guacamole in the dressing room?
So I just wanted to clear that up. That was my mom, Alice, who brought the guacamole.
And just in case you didn't know, which I'm sure you already did, that was me who was eating the guacamole in the dressing room. And there's another part of it.
Hi!
You just walked in on the part of your video.
What?
Get out.
To record my voice, that'd be hilarious.
Well, since it was me and everyone in the Oklahoma cast knew that it was me who was eating the guacamole in the dressing room, I thought that it'd be like a cute little like, hey everyone, I'm like, this is my senior show for all of you who graduated and like moved on. And so I was going to bring guacamole and take a picture of me eating it in the dressing room, but me being me, I forgot about it and I left it in the choir room, actually right there, and it was in a bag. And I left it there all weekend, and then like a week later, because I forgot about it, like I literally forgot all about it, we were in here during 8th period and you picked it up and you were like, oh, there's something soggy in here. And it was a paper bowl with aluminum foil over it, but you didn't even want to pick up the aluminum foil because the bowl was so soggy from the guacamole that it had been there for over a week, and you were like, I don't understand who would do this. And I was like, I really don't know. I have no idea who would do something like that. So yeah, that was me who had the soggy paper bowl in the choir room.
Last year when we were in Disney, I locked myself out of my room and the front desk said I couldn't get my key reactivated without your permission. So I just kind of wandered the hallways for an hour and a half before my roommates came back, so I didn't have to bother you when you were at the pool.
I'm pretty sure I never got my choir dress dry cleaned last year before I returned it, so I apologize to whoever has them this year.
I think her sons are so hot. Like, have you seen these people? Look at them. Aren't they so cute? I mean, but like, everyone already knows that I think they're hot, so I guess that's not really a confession.
Whenever I sing with concert or treble choir, half the time I don't know the words to the song. I mean, you know, you gotta fake it till you make it.
To be honest, I definitely lost my choir folder on day 2. I still haven't found it.
In the beginning of the year, I got a dress and I put it on one of those cards. And then the next concert, it just wasn't there. So I've been using my sister's dress this whole time.
Well, I used to help out a lot with the set building for Smamlat, and whenever Brhel would help with no, maybe I should leave that. But like whenever Brhel would leave the room, I would just eat her sweet peas, because the dried sweet peas, because they were good, and I didn't know if they were for me, and so I just ate them.
So my senior confession is that last year when we went to Disney, I lost Monica at Epcot when we were walking in the park. I was walking with someone else, and all of a sudden, I knew that Monica was kind of far behind, and we were trying to rush somewhere, so we were walking pretty fast, and then all of a sudden, the person that was walking with me and I, we turned around and Monica was not there, and we were both, she was pretty mad about it at the time, but I think now, like when we look back on it, we both laugh at it.
Unlike my fellow seniors, I'm not going to make it so easy for you to find out the bad stuff I've done. Somewhere in your room is going to be hidden this envelope. It may or may not contain what I've done. Best of luck finding it.
Freshman year, I was recording rehearsal for Grease, and it was a music rehearsal, and I didn't want this to happen, I didn't mean to, but I ended up catching like 30 seconds recorded of you yelling at the cast, with good reason, don't get me wrong.
I could have done this show with 30 people.
Stop talking! I am sick and tired of competing with you. I didn't have to cast 100 of you in this show. I could have done the show with 30. So if you want to talk, then you can go out in the hall, because I don't need you.
Last year when we went on a trip to Disney, and it was our very last day in the park, we went to Magic Kingdom, I somehow managed to get separated from my group. And so and my phone was dead, I had no charger, and so I was just kind of scouring the whole entire park, waiting, hoping to see someone that I knew. And I eventually just, joined some random group that I didn't even know who it was. It's some people from Bartlett. But it's okay. I'm alive. And that's all that matters.
So for Millie, I had assumed the role of Pearl Lady, and somehow I also assumed the title of Sexy Mama. Thank you, Mrs. Brhel. It made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, slightly embarrassed, but the bright side is I have now learned to embrace my inner sexy mama. Thank you.
Similar to one of Ashley's confessions from last year, she told you that she had like a whole gross, dirty pile of all the music that she liked that we've done in choir over the years. She just kind of stole. And I just wanted to prove to you that I am, in fact, organized, despite popular belief, and I did the same thing, but I kept it in a binder. So, thank you. Thank you very much.
There's multiple times where, my voice would give out. And so if you ever heard that one awkward voice in the alto section, that was me.
All right, so freshman year when I was in Greece, Maddie Hayes was my dance partner for the prom scene, and I kind of had a crush on her.
During certain parts of the dinner where the jester has to sort of mingle with the crowd, I would go around and tell jokes and stuff. And I tried something that I had done in the middle schools when we were going around the middle schools doing our magical performance. I would go up to some of the kids and be like, "You want to jingle my bell?" I had a little bell with hat with little bells on it, and they would go up and they would jingle it. And during the magical dinner, I went up to an older lady and I told her a joke, and then afterwards I'm like, "Would you like to jingle my bell?" And she looks me dead in the eye. She's like, "Oh no, I'm too old for you, honey."
Things I need to confess about is the fight that I had with Chelsea back in sophomore year. All right, so if you don't know, what happened was during, I think it was our last concert maybe, right before the concert, Chelsea came up to me and she kind of just yelled at me in front of everyone, and it's fine now, I'm okay. But the reason that happened was because I had mentioned that to one of her friends that I didn't really enjoy her performance during the talent show, and that was about it. And then she got mad at me. So yeah, that's what happened, if anyone of you were wondering. Sorry about that. Okay.
Andrew Medina and I would sit at the back of choir, the back of the risers, and we would switch voice parts. He was a bass and I was a soprano. So yeah. And yes, it was in the correct octave.
Well, I'm pretty sure that my mom ratted me out last year at Allstate when we were eating at whatever that place is. We had a really nice meal, if you were wondering. But my mom ratted me out. But yeah, when we were in Germany, it was probably the second day out of 12 or 10, however many days we were there. And Johnny, my host, was gracious enough to buy me a ticket to this German music festival. And there were a bunch of us there, Gretchen was there and Talisa. And we were all hanging out, and we were just walking around the whole day. And then at the end of the day, we were getting back on the train to go back to Fürstenfeldbruck, and I wanted to buy food or something, and I go to my pocket and I was like, oh my gosh, where's my debit card? And usually it wasn't my debit card, it was my mom's. So you'd think that my first reaction would to be, oh my gosh, my mom is going to kill me. But my first reaction was, oh my gosh, Mrs. Brhel is going to make so much fun of me for this. And so I begged everyone on the trip. I was like, you cannot tell Mrs. Brhel. I even told Andrew, I was like, you cannot tell your mother that I lost my debit card. And I kept it from you for a year and a half. And then my mom, shout out to you, Mom, you're in the audience right now. You told Mrs. Brhel my best senior confession. So whatever. still telling it anyway. Thanks a lot.